Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky confirmed a new Ukrainian offensive in Russia's Kursk region and said that North Korean troops were fighting alongside Russian forces there. In the areas of the Kursk operation, new assaults have taken place, Zelensky said during his Friday address, adding, Russia has once again deployed North Korean soldiers alongside its troops. According to Zelensky, a significant number of enemy troops were destroyed. He gave no details but said the losses were in the hundreds. Russia's Ministry of Defense said Saturday that it had repelled a Ukrainian counterattack in the Kursk region. According to Associated Press, Russia said Friday its forces had captured the mining town of Toretsk in their latest breakthrough in eastern Ukraine's Donetsk region, where Ukrainian defenses are creaking. Ukrainian officials did not confirm the report. South Korea's military said last month that it suspected North Korea was preparing to send additional troops to Russia after its soldiers suffered heavy casualties. North Korea has been supplying a vast amount of artillery and other conventional weapons to Russia, and last October it sent about 10,000 to 12,000 troops as well, according to US, South Korean and Ukrainian intelligence. Meanwhile, one person was killed and 10 wounded Saturday in a Ukrainian strike on the city of Makiivka, a town in Ukraine's partially occupied eastern Donetsk region, Moscow-installed officials said. Russia's defense ministry also said that 36 Ukrainian drones were shot down overnight into Saturday in 4 regions of western and southwestern Russia. No casualties were reported, but Rostov Regional Governor Yuri Slyuser said 14 apartment buildings were damaged in the southwestern city of Rostov-on-Don. Moscow sent 139 drones into Ukraine overnight into Saturday, Ukrainian officials said. According to Ukraine's Air Force, 67 drones were destroyed and 71 electronically jammed.
French Mirage 2000 fighters will significantly expand Ukraine's capabilities for using British Storm Shadow missiles. Aviation expert Konstantin Krivolap said this on air at Kyiv 24. He noted that Mirage 2000 will be able to carry Storm Shadow / Scalp, and this will significantly improve the capabilities and quality of use of these missiles by the Air Force. The capabilities of these fighters differ from those of the Su-24. He added that Mirage can also be used to shoot down cruise missiles and Shaheeds. You don't need expensive missiles for that. You have guns on board. Now F-16s are hitting Shaheeds. They mainly shoot them down with guns. This can be done from light aircraft, but we have a problem with the Defense Ministry's codification there, he added. Regarding how many Mirages Ukraine could receive, the expert noted that we could be talking about a quantity of up to 40 units. The expert believed that Ukraine could receive from 12 to 18, but there could be twice as many of these aircraft in a more or less acceptable condition that could be transferred to the Ukrainian armed forces. According to him, the main thing that is needed is to increase the number of Storm Shadow / Scalp, but their number is limited by the capabilities of the manufacturer, which transfers almost everything it produces to Ukraine. The French and British provide us with quite a lot of missiles compared to what they have left, but the Mirages will have no problems with what to hit with, the expert believes. Apparently, Mirage 2000 has already started to perform its work, but we need to wait for official announcements, Krivolap noted. The Mirage 2000 is equipped with 2 30mm cannons and can carry air-to-air, air-to-ground, anti-ship and anti-radiation missiles, as well as guided and unguided bombs. Missile ranges vary depending on the version. French jets can carry Mika missiles for air combat, Exocet anti-ship missiles, Scalp / Storm Shadow cruise missiles for strikes on ground targets, AS-35 Armat anti-radiation missiles, and a wide range of bombs. An important point is that the jets received by Ukraine were reportedly modernized to have the option to use Storm Shadow / Scalp, e.g. cruise missiles. France is already providing these long-range missiles for strikes on Russian targets. Ukrainian aviation expert Valery Romanenko pointed out that French Mirage fighter jets would not compete head-to-head with Russian aircraft like MiGs and Su. According to Romanenko, the French jet will be useful as a defensive fighter and can perform some tasks currently assigned to F-16s. Ukrainian aviation expert also reminded that the Mirage 2000 can carry not only long-range Scalp missiles, but also AASM Hammer bombs for frontline strikes. Ukraine has significantly ramped up its drone strike campaign against Russia's oil infrastructure, strategically targeting refineries, pumping stations, and export facilities. This ongoing effort serves as Ukraine's form of economic sanctions, complementing Western-imposed restrictions on Russian energy exports. Euromaidan Press recalls that the first attack hit Russia's fourth-largest oil refinery located in Kostovo, Nizhny Novgorod Oblast. Capable of processing up to 17 million tons of fuel per year, this refinery supplies fuel to the Russian military. Ukrainian drones ignited a massive fire shortly after, marking the second attack on this facility. Soon after, Ukrainian forces struck the Lukoil refinery in Volgograd, another major fuel producer, processing 14 million tons of oil annually. The pattern is clear. Ukraine is systematically crippling Russia's energy sector, making it increasingly difficult to sustain military operations, striking the largest refineries one by one. Another successful attack hit the Novozhivkov oil pumping station in Bryansk. Ukrainian forces used a drone carrying a Soviet Fab 250 bomb and HIMARS strikes to set the facility ablaze. This station is part of the Druzhba pipeline, one of Russia's main export routes to Europe. Ukrainian forces have repeatedly targeted it, further highlighting their intent to permanently disrupt Russian energy exports, according to Euromaidan Press media outlet. Next, in a major blow to Russia's refining capabilities, Ukrainian strikes have now forced the Novoshakhtinsk oil refinery in Rostov Oblast to shut down entirely. After sustaining repeated drone attacks, the plant, which had a processing capacity of 7.5 million tons per year, ceased operations completely due to equipment damage. This further deepens Russia's fuel shortages, both for domestic use and military operations. One of the most audacious attacks was the disruption of oil flows through Russia's Ust-Luga port. This critical export hub handles 20% of Russia's seaborne crude exports, making its temporary shutdown a significant economic setback for Moscow. The strike on a pumping station in the port caused a halt in operations, demonstrating Ukraine's ability to strike deep into Russia's territory and disrupt its global oil trade. Ukraine's drone strikes serve a dual purpose: damaging the economy while simultaneously undermining the war effort, as Russia heavily relies on oil revenues to fund its military, and these targeted attacks are forcing it to divert resources toward repairing damaged infrastructure rather than supporting its war machine. The destruction of refineries and pumping stations also makes it harder to supply fuel for tanks, armored vehicles, and aircraft, directly affecting battlefield operations. Euromaidan Press says that Ukraine's growing success in striking strategic Russian targets is due to its continued destruction of Russian air defenses. A recent example is the Ukrainian drone drop that destroyed a Russian Tor air defense system, highlighting the ability to neutralize key defensive assets through different creative means. The serial degradation of Russian air defenses has made it significantly easier for Ukrainian drones to penetrate deep into Russian territory and strike valuable targets. In addition to targeting oil infrastructure, Ukraine continues long-range precision strikes against Russian military facilities by, for example, another repeated drone strike on an artillery arsenal in Tver, which resulted in a large explosion, damaging not only the ammunition depot but also an oil pumping station in the area. The next strike was against the Olenia Air Base in Murmansk, home to Russian strategic bombers often used in missile strikes on Ukraine, which showcased the ability to threaten key Russian military assets even at such long distances.